desire to get married, who have the desire to get engaged, and they're just walking into 2023 like, I will be getting married. Oh my God, my ring, I got it redone for my birthday. To get married, who have the desire to get engaged, and they're just walking into 2023 like, I will be getting married. Oh my God, my ring, I got it redone for my. Okay. I am here. So today we're going to be talking about dating while not having it all together. So I met my husband in the middle of the freaking pandemic, right? So everyone would have told me, Kenise, you shouldn't be dating while it's a pandemic. You could get sick. But the pandemic was when I noticed I wanted a husband. The pandemic was when I noticed I wanted a husband. So today I just want to talk about dating while not having yourself together. It was shaky ground. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Dee Dee. I love seeing your comments and stuff in my DMs. Hi, Anastasia. I think you're new here. But yes, so I decided I wanted a husband during the pandemic. And before then, I was dating. I kept ending up in situationships. Hi, Jade. Before that, I was dating. I kept ended up in situationships, with the hot, popular guy, and then when I left the hot, popular guy, I was like, okay, I want to date engineers and doctors. And I was like, okay, I can really see myself with these people because my life just aligned with those people. And so with that being said, when I decided during the pandemic, I wanted to get married, it was like the first months where the pandemic happened, I just started like writing out some of my goals because we didn't know if the world was going to end or what. I just started writing out some of my goals. And I know this is not socially acceptable to say, but I had my career on this, having a great career on the same level as having marriage, having kids, like that was all on the same level. I know that sometimes society makes you believe that being a boss chick is like the best thing, but I was like, I want to be like a boss lady who has the husband and the kids because I know like I'm going to be the most amazing mother. And sometimes it's almost like you don't know if you can have it all. So while I was dating, I said to myself, I am going to write out a blueprint because so many of my dates went bad. So many of my dates went good. I would get, first and second, third dates with people. Then I wouldn't get any more relationship. I would get into a relationship with someone and then it would only last 6 months and then we would end. So all of this kept happening until about the time of the pandemic. It was just like a circular motion where I couldn't escape getting past the 6 months. My first relationship ever in high school was probably about 3 years, right? You're like in high school, then it lasts out of high school, and then slowly you guys break apart. I know people who had children from their high school relationship, but that's not the way mine was set up. So the reason why I am calling this live dating while not having it all together is because I got married when I didn't have it all together. Do you guys can I let you in on a really juicy secret since you've stuck around this long? I was fired during the pandemic. I was fired during the pandemic for my job. I was coaching on the side. I had my mindset coaching business, but I also had a 9 to 5 where I worked at a leasing company. And when I worked at this leasing company, I knew the desires of my heart weren't to continue working there. I wanted to start a business, like really get it going. And, anyone will tell you during the pandemic, it wasn't the best time to date. Anyone will tell you when you get fired, that's probably not the best time to date. But luckily, I still had income coming in and I decided to keep on going on my dates. I would get in a serious relationship with someone, like after a month of dating someone, they say, do you want to be exclusive? And I would say, yes, I do want to be exclusive with you. And then after a few months would pass, we would notice like, this isn't going where we want it to go. And I'm not going to say that I had everything in order. I wasn't super happy with the apartment I was living in, but like my apartment was fine. But nowadays it's like everyone has like stainless steel everything. And like, of course, I wanted to keep up with the Joneses, just like everyone else. I wanted a better apartment. I wanted a better everything. But I didn't let wanting better everything stop me from still putting myself out there and dating. I didn't let wanting, because my car, that is one thing. I kept my bills low when I was dating, meaning I think right during the pandemic, I had just finished paying off my car. And after I finished paying off my car, I had my rent, but all of my expenses were very, very low. So with low expenses, this also helped me date better because I wasn't dating out of a place of survival or like needing someone to pay for like my hair and nails. I hear a lot of women like getting married and they're like, or dating someone, they're like, I just need a man to pay for my hair and nails. Those weren't things I needed. Those weren't things I needed. I wanted like real companionship. I have no problem paying for my nails now. All my beauty treatments, I pay for myself. But what I want to get at is a lot of us put relationships on hold because we're like, I want to wait until I am perfect. Like my life is perfect. I want to get the house before I start dating. I want to get this amount in my bank account. Like I did have debt when I was dating. It wasn't a lot. I think I probably had like 4K or 3K in debt when I started dating. Like I didn't have school debt, but I just had like petty debt, right? Like things I had done wrong, like phone bills from the past that I like walked away from, or just like small things. Or I think I did have like a school loan of like $800 I needed to pay off. And I hadn't paid off in like years, and that wasn't straightened all the way out. If I'm saying anything that resonates with you guys, I'm loving the comments. If I'm saying anything that resonates, let me know so I can speak more on it, because I believe in leaving no secrets left untold. Okay? Like I hate the people where you're like, well, how did you get that? And they're like, oh, I worked hard for it. Yeah, but tell me practically what you did. Like, tell me everything that you did. So anyways, back to the story. Where was I now? As I was dating, I had loans. I had things that weren't paid off yet, but I did not let this stop me from not dating. Like, I didn't say, well, I have 3K in loans, so I'm going to wait until I pay the 3K off to date. No, I'm going to continue to put myself out there because like you guys don't know, like some of the richest people in the world are like $1 billion in debt. The planet where we live in America, like literally, like don't you hear during the election times like how much debt we're literally in? If America isn't stopping its show and not shutting down, it's like, oh, no one else can be born until America pays off all their debt. Until we pay off all our debt, the hospitals are closed, no one can get sick. Like, you don't see them saying that. You just don't. They're allowing more people into the country every day, even though we have all this debt. So don't let your debt be a factor. And most of all, most school debt, you could still buy a house even having school debt or school loans or student loans. So I didn't let being fired stop me from dating, but I wasn't destitute. I also had a business, so I had money coming in. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was enough for me to pay my rent, to look cute and go on dates, and for me to survive. I'm not going to say I was thriving. My happiness was thriving. I wasn't in a place of depression. Like when I was dating and a guy would leave or they would reject me, or maybe rejection isn't the word, but maybe like they wouldn't want to take it further with me, I would never let that get me down. Another thing I want to point out is the healing thing. Now, you're going to find this a bit controversial, but I didn't give myself time to heal because I knew what I wanted. I didn't give myself time to say, well, this guy just told me he doesn't want to date me anymore, so I'm going to stop dating for a while and focus on myself and get myself together. No, I was focusing on myself when I was dating. I wasn't dating someone every single day to the point where I started forgetting about myself. a lot of us were like, well, this person, this relationship, they dumped me or I let them go, but I'm going to give myself time to heal. Most of us, we already knew that person wasn't the one before we even let it go that far. And since we knew that person wasn't the one, what are we waiting for? What are we healing from? If anything, it's a time to say, I'm going to stick more to my rules this time. I don't care how sexy and hot he is. I'm going to date him. I'm going to not have sex with him for 3 months. What else do I want to say? I think the biggest tea was me letting you guys in on the secret that I was fired when I was dating during the pandemic. I got fired. And I still was dating. Now, this is different for men, because if a man gets fired and he's still dating, that should be a problem for him. That should be a problem for him. But yes, one thing I want to say is I think a lot of the reason why a lot of us aren't in the relationship we desire is we make a lot of excuses. We don't think we're enough as we are. When you get in relationship, when you get in relationship with someone, you're going to grow. You guys are both gonna, like, you're not even gonna have the same car that you had when you started dating someone. You're not going to have the same car. You're not going to have the same house. When me and my husband first got married, I only had this ring right here. I only had this ring. Now it's been like, we've been married for a year and a half after meeting for 8 months. And now I have this ring. Like, everything upgrades as long as you are moving onward and upward. Now, if you're always talking about all the things in the world that are going wrong, then I don't know how growth will come from that situation. But if you're really like soon as me and my husband, like, I moved in with him, what I said was, oh, thanks, Anastasia, and I love your name. As soon as I decided I was going to move in with my husband, because we moved in. So me and my husband, we met in September during the pandemic, September of 2020. And then I moved in with him January 1st. And then, hi, Jamila, thanks for popping in. And then after January 1st, we got married in June. So I think that's like 8 months later after meeting, from September to June. And then I started paying off my debt. When I moved in with him, I was able to pay off my debt. But guess what? My debt wasn't all paid off. I didn't have the best job ever yet. And I still chose to get married. Don't let society make you think that you need to have a house. You need to have zero debt. You need to have the purest, healedest heart ever. Don't let you think that, because trust me, when you get into the relationship, because I lived on my own before I got married. I had never lived with someone before, never even had a roommate. So when I did get into the relationship, guess what, guys? I was triggered. I was like, wow, I have to clean up after? Wow, like, all these things, like, you will be triggered once you live with someone. Like, there's no way for you to be in the most perfect condition to be in a relationship. Because when you live alone, when you're just living with a friend or a roommate, no one's triggering you. When you're just living with your family, family does trigger you. But I will say that it's time for you to know that, like, you're going to be doing a lifetime of healing. Don't let that stop your fertility. Don't let that stop you from having the life that you want because you chose to take 5 years, 2 years off from dating. Don't let rejection let you be waiting 5 years to heal. If you get with the right person, you can heal while you're in the relationship. And I'm not saying that they need to set out time every day to heal you, but they can heal your inner child. I know for me as a child, I wanted a lot of I needed a lot of affirmation. I didn't know that until I got older. I didn't know that until I got married. I didn't know that until I got into a relationship. So what I have been waiting for like, oopsie, what I have been waiting for like 5 years to wait until that part of me was healed. No. Do you guys have anything you guys want me to touch on? I'm having a good time hanging out with you guys. Is 8:30 a good time to live stream? The replay will be on Instagram. I mean YouTube, because I am on YouTube Live. But yes, I really want you to know that I was fired during the pandemic. I still chose to keep dating. I did have income coming in though. I wasn't destitute. I also didn't need to start dating a man so he could pay for my hair and my nails. I already had that covered. Those things are very, very like, I already had that covered. That is a small pet peeve of mine when women are dating and they say, I just need someone that's going to get my hair and my nails done. Because baby, your life is going to require way more than that. Your life is going to require like heavy down payments on houses. Your life is going to require good credit. Your life is going to require way more things. Otherwise, you, Tivo? I don't know. Anastasia, I don't know what you said at the end. But yeah, so I just want you to know you don't need to have it all healed. You don't need to have a perfect life to date. But I did start channeling what it would be like if I was married, because I was slacking in life. I was getting lazy with getting dressed. So right before I was like dating and taking dating seriously, I would get dressed really nice. I would shower morning and night. I would do all sorts of things that would put me like ahead if I was dating or if I was getting married, that will make me feel confident about myself if I was getting married, like showering that twice a day. I was like, what would I be doing if I was a wife? I would be showering. I would want to smell good for my man. So before I even had the man, I would do those things. Okay, Anastasia, I struggle with pointing out my own weaknesses. Trying to stop. Most of the time, they are things that would otherwise go unnoticed. What we see as weaknesses, someone else can see as strengths. What we see as our weaknesses, someone else can see as strengths. So let me give you an example, and this is not going to be a dating example, but I think everything is intertwined. Someone who is very, very shy could say, wow, I really admire her because she talks so much. She walks in a room and she speaks to everyone. And someone else could say, wow, why does she talk so much? That's her weakness. She tells everything. So what are weaknesses to you could be strengths to someone else. And trust me, guys date women who don't have perfect teeth, who don't have perfect hair, who don't have perfect a lot of things. And they fall in love with those differences. They fall in love with those differences in a woman. So I want you to know that someone will literally fall in love with your differences. Someone will literally say, wow, she's different. And I love those quirks about her. That's what someone will say. So I want to invite you guys. So true. You know it's true. You know it's true. So I want to, 3 people are watching on YouTube. I want to see if the YouTubers have any questions. Someone said on YouTube, that's the having it all thing. Yes, exactly. That's the having it all thing. Yeah, someone else said, big believer in keeping the debt low. Yes, the debt was low. Reese said, hey, Kenise, 333 subscribers. Yes, my subscribers are going up. Someone said, I'm dating someone who is ex-military and has a lot of issues. How do I date him? In other words, he's a great guy, just not healed. Yes, he's in therapy. Just a little boogie. So let's say you're dating someone who is ex-military. So are you saying that they're having post-traumatic stress disorder? Or what are you getting at when you say they're not healed? Because as long as they're not like picking up a weapon before bed, I feel like this could be worked out. And as long as they're not constantly talking about their ex, I feel like this could totally be worked out, especially if they're open to therapy. But you have to know that you cannot try to be their therapist. If you try to be your man's, it's almost like this. Like, let me relate it to this. Sometimes we try to be our man's mom, our man's best friend, our man's all these things. It's almost like this when we're like, we have a grandmother, right? We have a grandmother and we try to be our grandmother's nurse. We try to be our grandmother's like caretaker, CNA. When we're trying to be all these things that are actually jobs to one person, that's where it kind of gets, a little bit too much for us. So your job is to be his woman. So be exactly that. Don't try to heal him. Meaning, obviously, you want to be nice to him, but don't try to like walk through exercises with him unless he really asks you to. So I would say that will be my answer to that question, just Boogie. But yeah, thank you everybody for popping in over on YouTube. Thank you for all the questions. I'm going to try to be a bit more consistent and try to start my New Year goals like right now. But like I said, when I started dating my husband, I did not have it all together. I had debt. I was fired from a job. I still have money coming in. I wasn't broke. I wasn't dating him for my hair and nails, but I was dating for marriage. So I dated that way. I didn't have sex with him quickly. I let him provide for me. I didn't give everything to him in the first week. I didn't hang with him back to back to back in the first week, because that's how a lot of us, we mess up the attraction. If you're going to get married to him, he's going to see you all the time. Let me tell you what my husband said when I moved in with him. He said, oh my God, I thought you were busier than this. And I was like, yeah, because I wouldn't always be texting him. I played the game to win it. And not because I wanted some sugar daddy. It's because I wanted partnership. I wanted companionship. I wanted the real thing. So I played it differently. Okay. All right. I'm getting out of here. No more questions on YouTube. No more questions on Instagram. I'm going to just only post the live on YouTube, the replay. And I love you guys so much. Thanks for popping in. Sorry, guys. I didn't. Okay, how do I